Hey ladies, happy Monday, mindset time. A couple minutes later than I said I was gonna come, but I'm here and I have a topic that is near and dear to my heart, something that I felt really called to share with you guys this morning as I to deliver something that I know will serve you and help you get through this. And because this mindset piece, some of you guys are brand new to our coaching community. You've been in our free group for a while, but now you're actually, there it is. My internet was not working there for a second. It's a crazy, chaotic day, first and foremost. We've got some last minute things to get finished. And then I may have to even go get my husband before we all leave out for church camp. So a little crazy. So, and I'm always loving to find, there you are. Hey, Amber, how are you? I see you, y'all in the comments now. Marlena, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'll leave out for church. So let's get to it. If you're excited about this week and you're like, I'm ready, I'm gung-ho, I got things going, I'm excited and motivated this morning, then put I'm ready in the comments. I just want to see who that is. If you're watching replay, of course, but replay also just so that I know that you stop by to watch. I want to make sure that you guys are watching these. And thank you for the happy birthday, by the way. My son reminded my daughter a while ago. I was like, oh yeah, it's my birthday. I feel like it's just one of those days where there's so many things going on. I'm like, oh yeah, it's my birthday. I forgot. So it is all good. So listen, ladies, some of y'all are starting like literally today is day one for your 6-week accelerator program. Some of y'all are working in the breakthrough program, which is a one-on-one coaching program versus the group coaching. They're all amazing. Either way, I'm so excited. And some of y'all have been with us for a long time. And wherever you're at, mindset is everything. Put that in the comments. Put mindset is everything. This is so crucial. This is such an important piece of this journey. This is the piece that's missing for so many. So many have maybe even tracked macros before, maybe followed every diet under the sun, right? That some of you guys have expressed that's been you guys, diet after diet after diet after diet. But the thing that has been missing for so many is truly mindset. And this is why I love this Monday training. I will not miss it at all. I don't care if I'm out of town or I'm somewhere. I'm always going to show up. The time may fluctuate. But I know how crucial and important that is. And so I want to give y'all kudos as well for those of y'all that filled out the why, the goals and the what is your why spreadsheet for me or the form. It was the form. Obviously it goes to a spreadsheet for me so I can actually view your answers. But man, some amazing whys that you guys have, some amazing goals that you have. And if you're listening and you're like, what sheet? I didn't get a form. I don't know what you're talking about. All good. Put the word form in the comments. It's in here. I tagged y'all in it, but I will totally retag you because I totally get how it's so easy to literally get lost in Facebook groups. Let's be real. But today I really wanted to talk about building trust within yourself and reprogramming yourself and your legacy, the example that you're setting for everybody around you, because it's so incredibly important. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Audrey. I love you, girl. The topic today that was really near and dear to my heart for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I think this is important to talk about, especially when people are learning, or excuse me, when some of you are literally just starting your coaching, your program, your journey, your health journey, whatever that looks like. I think it's very important to talk about building trust within yourself, because some of you don't have trust within yourself that you're going to follow through over these next 6 weeks. Or whatever time frame you're in, right? But I think it's also important, and this was a really big piece. This is my actual favorite answers that I get to read when you fill out the form about your goals and your why. And it has to do with not the pounds that you want to lose. It has to do with the example that you want to set for everybody else in your life. And it's the answers that you answer whenever you answer that question of like, if I quit again on myself, who's going to be impacted by this? And then the second, the question that comes in right after that is when, not if, but when I stay true and I follow through and I stay consistent working on myself, who's going to be positively impacted and how? Those are my two favorite questions on that sheet. So again, if you're like, I don't even know what sheet you're talking about, put form. I see yours, Marlena. I'll get you tagged in it after it's here inside the group. I just posted it yesterday. But let's go back to the root cause. The root issue that a lot of y'all are having is that you truly just don't trust yourself to show up, right? You maybe don't trust. If this is you and you lack trust in yourself, put the word trust in the comments. And what does that mean? That can be literally not really trusting or believing. Either trusting or believing. They're kind of very similar in the sense of this topic of what I'm talking about. Some of you don't truly trust or believe that you're going to follow through and you're going to keep going. And some of you are way past 6 weeks. Some of y'all are in the 12 weeks. Some of y'all are in a full-blown, y'all been here for a while. Some of y'all are a couple years into it. Everybody's at a different pace, in a different place, but it doesn't matter where you're at. Still fill out the form, because you always need to revisit your goals and you always need to revisit your why. Some of you have already overcome that. Holy crap, I usually always quit at week 3 and I'm in week 14. Right? Jennifer Armand is a perfect example. When she did our accelerator program, used to be, or the past ones were 12 weeks long. This one we're trying a 6 week. And I know that was one of her biggest wins, the fact that she even finished the 12 week, because then she went into the 12 week into a one-on-one 6 week, and then is still continuing and rocking and rolling for the longest trend in her entire life. And it's amazing. And so some of y'all literally lack the belief that you're going to keep going. And I'm telling you real quick, again, the mindset is everything. This is why we really harp on it a lot. And not just making sure and making a point that you watch these Monday trainings. There's other trainings in here from the past that I've done. I'm actually downloading them all because Facebook is literally deleting them after 30 days. So after this, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to download it and put it on a YouTube link so that you guys have access to it for life. But at the top of this group, I have the YouTube links for all past mindset and nutrition workshops. You guys can go watch them at any moment, any time. But do something for yourself every single day, right? Because here's how you build trust in yourself. It's first you have to keep the promises to yourself. Listen, I use this word all the time because I'm such a believer in it. We're all obligers. And an obliger, what is the definition of that? It means we are really good at making sure that we keep our promises and we follow through and do the things that we're going to say we're going to do for everybody else. But we usually do not keep the promises to ourselves. So the first thing that I really want you to do is you have to make a promise to yourself first off. Commit and make a promise to yourself. So put this in the comments. I promise myself to follow through. I promise myself to follow through. And if you need to and you struggle with this, do me a massive favor, and I want you to put that somewhere that you can read it every single day. Maybe put it on the home screen of your phone so that every time you open your phone, that's the thing that we all look at every single day multiple times, right? So the phone is perfect usually. Put it on a screensaver that says, I promise to follow through for myself, because you deserve this. And nobody, not anything, no emergency that anybody else might be walking through, unless it's trauma and traumatic, obviously, of course. That's a different story. But how do you do this? How do you follow through? How do you make this time different? This is why I focus on so many small habits to get you started. This is why those of y'all that are just starting macros with us in the 6-week accelerator program, you've got 2 numbers to focus on. You've got calories and you've got protein, and that is it. Okay? That is it. And I'm telling you, don't get distracted trying to focus on more numbers than what I gave you. I promise there's a method to our madness, and we've seen more success with women focusing on calories and protein only when you're getting started. Why? Because that's doable. That's realistic. That's not overwhelming like focusing on every other number. I've got some women that'll come to me and, yeah, I'm focusing on 10 different things. Well, no wonder you're not getting any of them. You're not doing any of them very well, and you're overwhelmed and you're stressed out. This journey shouldn't be stressful. This journey should be, it's not easy. Let's not even say that, because I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's not easy. It's a process. It takes time, but it takes the magic sauce. And I say this a lot about a lot of y'all in here are so good at consistency, you guys. Good. Thank you, Suzanne, for the birthday wishes. I was looking to see if you're on, because I always tell her, like, your magic sauce is your consistency. Her consistency is what has her where she's at 60 years old, freaking rocking it, because she's been consistent even when the freaking scale was a jerk and didn't move at all, because she knew that she deserved it, right? She kept the promise to herself. Amber, Madison, I see you day in and day out keeping the promise to yourself. Girl, you had COVID, and it was only kept you down for like 2 days. But you were still present, and you were still consistent, and you were still saying hi, letting us know that you're here. Staying connected is so crucial, because we're going to be the support system that's going to help you guys all keep going. Don't you dare go MIA. That's the quickest thing in the world to cause you to fall off the bandwagon, and it's going to be really hard to get back on. So the first thing is starting small. Consistency is going to build your confidence. Consistency will get you the results you want as well too, but I'm here to talk to your mindset today. If you lack the belief in yourself and you lack the confidence in yourself, then keep the small promises to yourself, not the big ones. Don't overfill your plate. I'm really good at that, especially in business. I take on way too many projects all the time, and then at the end of them, when I'm finally done with them, I'm like, why in the world did I do that? That distracted me from this, the most important thing in my life, because I said yes to too many things. Okay, I'm guilty of it all the time, and I'm working really hard to not do that. So you got to keep the small promises to yourself first, okay? So if you're just hopping on, so glad that you're on, Marietta. No worries. I was about 10 minutes late getting on, so it's all good. You didn't miss as much as you think. But I do want you guys, the most important thing is to keep the promise to yourself. So how do you do that? So the very first thing is choose one thing each day that you're going to follow through every day, or that you're going to follow through at 100%. So what I want you to do right now is, if you're struggling or you're just getting started, it doesn't matter. What is the one thing? All I want you to do is fully 100% commit to one thing that you're going to focus on and do really well all week. For some of you, that might be checking off the boxes on your calendar because you're doing the things, but you're just not checking them off. Cool. It's all good. As long as you're doing them. That's what matters. Some of you might be, I'm going to freaking track my food, because in the past I have just been terrible at tracking food consistently. For some reason, there's a mental block there. I don't know. Maybe that one thing. Now, we're going to try to do all the things on the calendar, but we're not here to be perfect. Again, it's a process. In order for you to keep the promises to yourself, you can't be trying to be perfect on every single thing on the calendar. I want you to give yourself permission to find that one thing that you know you struggle with and focus on that one at 100%. Maybe that's food tracking. That's a lot of y'all's. Maybe that's getting your intentional walks in. Maybe that's actually getting your workout in, because that's your struggle. Whatever that is to you, I want you to tell me in the comments what your one thing is, and you might have to think about it. It's okay. But your action step on keeping your promise to yourself is to choose that one thing each day that you're going to 100% follow through. And then you're going to freaking celebrate the hell out of yourself because you got that one thing done on a daily basis. Okay, I'm not asking you from the get-go, out of the start, especially all that today is literally day one, to check off every freaking box every single day, because that's not necessarily realistic. Now, some of you are going to do that anyway, which is awesome, as long as it feels good and you're not feeling stressed out about this journey. This journey should fit into your current lifestyle. You should not have to flip your world upside down to try to get all this in. Otherwise, it's not gonna stick. Track your wins, not just numbers. We talk about this a lot. You guys, y'all probably hear me say this over and over and over in these mindset videos, but there's a reason for it, because we as women are really good at focusing in on what we didn't get done. What I want you to start shifting your mind on is, when you find yourself going into this rabbit hole of like, crap, I didn't get this, and this, and done. Oh my gosh, I failed, I suck, I da 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 da. If you say the word out loud that I suck at blah, I want you real quick to start. I don't care. I mean, whatever. There's so many different practices. I want you to be aware of it first and foremost, because you can't change something if you're not aware of it. If you start saying something negative about yourself, then I want you to quickly be aware of it and be like, Angela, don't you dare say that again. Don't you say that again. Don't say it again. And maybe you have to. I know this sounds cheesy, but we did it not long ago with my son because he got in trouble at school for something, and so we literally had him write 10 sentences. They were short and sweet. And it was 10 things of like, I will not, I can't even remember what he did. I think he hit somebody, I think. Anyway, it was, I will not hit my friends. I will not hit my friends. I will not hit my friends. So maybe if this is something you struggle with and you say, I suck at this all the time, or whatever your negative words are that come out of your mouth, then I want you to, maybe you write the opposite. Maybe you find what that positive statement is and you write it out 10 times at least, and say it out loud so that you can reprogram your mind. But celebrate your win each day. I want you to look at it. You don't have to write it down, but if you want to, I think it's very powerful to write a win down every single day. But again, I'm also really big on not asking you guys to do too many things, because that's where you get that's where it gets confusing. You get overwhelmed and then you don't follow through. And so that's not what we want you to do. I really just want you to think about it. At the end of each week, y'all get a form that comes through in a messenger every Friday that says, please fill this out. And it has you rate yourself in certain categories. And then it asks you, what is your win this week and what is your struggle? Why? Because you've got to celebrate your small wins. Crucial, crucial, crucial. Otherwise, you're just going to be constantly programming yourself that I'm not good enough. Well, then you're never going to be good enough if you're always looking for what you didn't get done instead of what you did get done. Celebrate what you did. I promise. It's going to slowly reprogram your mind to realize, like, you know what? I am doing enough. I am good enough. I'm worthy of this. Whew, all of the things, right? So here's I've got 2 more bullet points, and then I'm going to wrap it up because I've got to go finish packing and get out of here. Let your grace fuel, but not excuses. And what does that mean? There's going to be times on your journey when you fall off. Y'all, nobody's perfect, and you're not going to be perfect. And if you put your bar that high, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's going to derail you. So what does that mean? When you have a bad day, don't beat yourself up. Don't punish yourself. What I want you to do in those tough moments is sit and reflect and think, in this tough moment, this tough time, what am I doing? What do I need to overcome this? What do I need to do? I need to connect, okay? Just like Amber when she had COVID. She didn't disconnect. She was connected more. But she also gave herself grace because she allowed herself to sleep and miss some things on her calendar. Why? Because she freaking needed it. Her body was broken down and needed nothing but rest. And then I know she may not have realized that she did this, but she recognized how important it was for her to let us know in the chat that what was going on, so that we could pray for her, so we could help her, and so we could walk her through it and stay connected. And then she jumped right back on as soon as she felt good enough a couple days later to actually get a workout in. And so after a tough moment, or you miss a habit, or you miss a workout, just ask yourself, what do I need to do now? Well, I need to look at, what did I do that maybe caused me to miss this? Where's the lesson in this? And how can I fix it and do better? That's all you got to do, okay? And then the last thing that I want to talk about today is something that I heard on a video this morning. And it was like, whew, something I've heard, and it's a topic I've taught on many, many, many times, but I think it's also very important because this also goes along with the question that you were asked in the goal sheet. Reprogram your mind is so incredibly important, right? But what you say out loud and what you say to other people around you is programming not just you, but it's programming your kids. It's programming your team. It's programming your spouse. It's programming everyone around you. And so what does that mean? If you are right now are someone that negative talks about yourself, whether it's internally or it's out loud, you guys, I want to bring up a question that I asked the other day. I asked a question the other day it's on my personal page. And I asked, like, what age were you introduced to dieting? God, there were so many that were kids. And a lot of them were because their moms or some female influence in their life were always on a diet, or always speaking negative about their bodies, or always all these things going on, right? And so I want, if you're comfortable with it, tell me in the comments, what what age were you when you were first introduced to dieting? I know a lot of y'all actually were kids, like literally 10, 12. Some of y'all were right after you had a kid, 18 years old. Like I had so many people sharing that it was, they always remember mom being on a diet, so they were on a diet. I cannot remember who it was, and if it was one of y'all, please tell me. But somebody shared with me the other day that it was a doctor. A doctor told her when she was 12, or maybe it was 10, can't remember, to go on a diet, a 1,200 calorie less diet, and she wasn't even overweight. But they were going off of stupid BMI charts. Guys, I've been overweight my entire excuse my language. I just hate the BMI charts. My whole freaking life on the BMI charts. But I never let that bother me because I don't care. The BMI chart does not tell you the full picture. It's just a stupid chart that the doctors know to go off of that tells you I'm obese, or I'm overweight, or I'm supposed to be this way. Y'all, if I literally took I can't remember the last time I looked. I haven't looked at that stupid chart in so long, but I think I probably need to be 110 pounds. That's not realistic for me. 130 is usually it's hard for me to even get down to 130. My body usually sits around 135, give or take. I don't know, I'm closer to 140 right now. Ate some things for my birthday. It's all good. Water weight, inflammation, all the things. But listen, the reason why I wanted to share this is because your mindset is huge. Mindset is everything. How you talk about yourself is so incredibly important. And I want you to think of it in a different way, because we tend to stop talking negatively about ourselves when we realize, holy crap, I am programming my daughter to start thinking negative about herself at the age 10. My daughter is 10. So when some of y'all share me 10, I'm looking at her and I'm like, wow, I can't even imagine her right now having to go on a diet, because I was always on one, right? Like, the kids have no idea that I track my food. They don't know any of that stuff. I work out because I feel good. My kids just watched me work out this morning right here on the other side of this. The BMI charts are bogus. They're terrible. They go off of your height and your age. So what does that have to do with? It doesn't tell you your body fat percentage, your muscle tone, nothing. I carry a lot of muscle. I've always been solid. My kids are the same way. And so, yeah, muscle does not weigh more than fat, you guys. 5 pounds of muscle weighs the same as 5 pounds of fat. It just looks different. It makes up your body different. Aesthetically, it looks different. This is why 2 people can weigh 150 pounds and look incredibly different, where one could wear like a size 12 and the other one could wear a size 4, and both weigh 150 pounds. It's how your body composition. I care more about your body fat percentage than I do anything else. And your circumference, your inches around your waist, because that can get dangerous if it gets out of control and too much. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to drive home this point and then I got to hop off. My husband is blowing up my phone. I may have to go pick him up, before I go to get ready to leave with the church. So the final thing that I just really want is I want you to think about the people that are around you every single day watching you, because I know we say this a lot and we know this. Our kids do not do what we say most of the time, but they do what we do, okay? And some of y'all have small kids still. Some of y'all's kids are adults. Some of y'all, it doesn't matter. I don't feel like we ever stop being a mentor and an influence for our kids, even if they're out of the house and they're grown and they have their own kids. They still watch what we do. And you guys, some of y'all were programmed at such a young, small age because of the influences in your life to have such bad relationships with yourself, your body, and food. And so the point that I wanted to drive home is pay attention to how you talk about yourself. Pay attention to how you treat yourself. Pay attention to all the things that you do. Why? Because it does it only negatively impact yourself and your belief in yourself, but it negatively impacts the kids in your life, the people in your life. When you are always unhappy with yourself, when you're always negatively talking about yourself, when you're hiding because I don't feel good about myself, instead of being happy and putting on a smile, even if you're not at the weight that you want to be at. Why? Because you, excuse me, the ones that matter the most to you are the ones that are impacted the most. And that can be positive or negative, and it's your choice. If you keep negatively impacting yourself and thinking negative about yourself and all of the things, I'm telling you guys, we're programming our children to grow up in a certain way. And I don't know a single person that I know wants to program them to be bad. Not to be bad, obviously, that's not what I meant. To think negative about themselves. So think about that. The next time you talk negative about yourself, who's around you? Oh, crap. I do that with money because the way I was raised was just negative. Money is a trigger for me. I've shared this a lot lately. Like when things are tight or the money is negative or whatever the scenario is, like I'm the biggest ball of stress, or I'll catch myself saying like, oh, that's too expensive. I can't afford this. I can't afford that, because that's how I was raised by a single mom that worked her ass off, and she's the best mom in the entire world. But it was always tight. And so there's that negative things that were passed down to me that, man, I catch myself doing that in front of my daughter and I'm like, don't you dare do that. I don't want to programming her to be that way too. And so think of it that way as well too with yourself and how you talk about yourself, how much you obsess over the number on the scale, how much you obsess over the food that you don't put in your mouth, how much you miss out on moments. They're watching. They're always watching, and they will do what we do. And so let's bleed out on them positivity, because we love ourselves, because we're working on ourselves. Today is the first day. Today is you've already taken the right step because you're in this group and you're coaching in one form or fashion. So let's reprogram not just ourselves, but the people that we love so much around us, by taking better care of ourselves, by showing up, by keeping the promises to ourselves, by talking nice about ourselves, by just stopping the negative self-talk and the negative treatment that we do to ourselves when we keep putting ourselves on that back burner. Okay? Selfish. It's not selfish to take care of yourself and take time for yourself. It's more selfish to keep neglecting yourself. You guys, that's more selfish, because that's when we bleed out all the bad things and the negativity to our family, because we cannot show up in a positive way for the ones that we love the most when we have nothing in our tank. Okay, so, all right, I already went longer than I said I was going to do. I got to call my husband back, figure out the situation. Love y'all so much. Happy Monday. Yes, I'm going to church camp, leaving today, but I am always here. I'm not going anywhere. I have a lot of downtime while I'm there. Please do not see that as like, oh gosh, she's away, I'm not going to bother her. Nobody's ever bothering me. This is why we also have chats. I'm here. Everybody's here together. Reagan's here. Let's just have a freaking fantastic, amazing week. And it all starts now. Love y'all.